This is the glamorous part of the MotoGP right here. Sitting in traffic.
Landmine. Probably just a junkyard.
I'm going to tap out of that conversation there for a minute because it's getting kind of annoying with all the static. We've been having some real issues with our Cena Bluetooth communicators this week. We kind of figured it out this morning finally, though. I think we everybody else has the 20-something, 20S, I think. Anyway, I have the 10C, which has the camera built in, obviously. And my device can only link up to 4, whereas the 20 can link up to 9. And we were trying to figure out why we couldn't all connect. But I was in the middle of the chain, so the chain broke. So what we did this morning was everybody else paired, the other 5 of them paired, and then we tacked me onto the end, and we were able to make it happen. However, sometimes the audio quality is what you heard. I can still make out most of what they're saying, but anyway, it cuts in and out. Sometimes it's clear as day, sometimes it's that crackly mess. But anyway, we are riding into Sunday, the final day of the MotoGP at Circuit of the Americas. We were here yesterday. We saw some Moto 3 qualifying, Moto 2 practice, and then the Moto America Superbike race. I think the race 1. I think there's a second one today. Race 1 was in the wet, and by wet I mean drenched. It started raining right before they took to the track, and they did their warm-up lap and then started off. It was really entertaining to watch. I felt like there were going to be a lot more wipeouts. I know they have the special equipment for the rain, and they've had training on riding in the wet, and they do it on a fairly regular basis. But I was still expecting a little bit more wipeouts than what we saw. I think there were only 2. Obviously, the race was a slightly slower pace than normal, but they were definitely still whipping around those corners and laying the bikes on the sides and dragging the knees and all of that. So it was really entertaining to watch from underneath my poncho. So we stuck it out and watched the whole thing. Here we go. I'm about to run a stop sign in front of some sheriffs. All right. So we'll be coming up over the hill here. I think my brother-in-law and I are going to be parking in the campground. One of his buddies are here, so we're going to park over there so we can get rid of all of this mess. But you see the observation tower. Be pretty interesting. Alright, well, should probably focus on what we're doing here, so I will talk to you guys later. Actually coming across here, some good views of the track. So I'll splice this in. I think somewhere towards the beginning, turn 3 maybe? I don't know. I'm not on this side of the track very often. Our seats are on turn 15. Which is on the other side, or on the S-curve, and right after the straight, so we get a pretty good view of them flying down the track at, over 200 miles an hour. Then they hit the brakes, cut around a couple of S turns, and we're going to stop for a view here. Let's see. I think that over there, that's turn 1, the grandstand. Alright. This could be a decent spot. Got a couple of turns right there. Way over on the other side past that, that's where we're sitting. So, looks like we're on the move again. Like I said, follow my brother-in-law to his buddy's campsite. We're going to park there. So my brother-in-law is riding a Ducati Multistrada. He bought that last year around this time. Yeah, he actually bought it right before the MotoGP, so he had something to ride out here. So he's had that for a little over a year now. It's a little too big and whatnot for my taste. Of course, I'm rather short. I'm 5'7", have a 29-inch inseam, so this Triumph fits me just perfectly. It's one of the reasons I really liked it, because it's comfortable. I can put both platforms down, and this is not even the low model, and I don't have the low seat. I just have the regular seat, so really comfortable for me to ride. Anyway, all right, we're about to park, so I'll catch up with y'all later. So here's a little follow-up to this morning's video. I've had an interesting day. Got on the bike to leave the MotoGP and didn't feel right. Apparently I picked up a screw. So luckily I didn't go anywhere. So I pulled my plug kit out of my top case and plugged it up, had a little hand pump, pumped it up to about 30 psi or so, and drove it to a gas station where I put the correct amount of air into the tire. So I'm gonna ride a little ways and check it again, make sure it's holding before I start the 4-hour ride home. It's Sunday afternoon, so I'm not going to find a place that can put a tire on today, so I'll have to do it after I get home. I was hoping to get out of here at 4 o'clock. It's almost 5 now. I still have to get back to the rent house and pack up, load up, head out. So that's been my adventure for today. MotoGP race this afternoon kind of went as expected, but not the way that I hoped. Marquez started, I believe, 4th or 5th due to his penalty yesterday during their qualifying. Vinales started at pole, but Marquez quickly took the lead and finished up at first. He was leading Vinales by over 6 seconds, but at the end he slowed up a little bit, so Vinales caught up 3.5 or so. Anyway, Vinales got second, Marquez got first, and that's number 6 for him at Circuit of the Americas. So anyway, didn't end up the way that we wanted it to, but it is what it is. Marquez is stupid fast. Nobody can do that track like he does it. So if he can come back from 5 behind and then win by a good 6 seconds, if he hadn't slowed up, it would have been 6 or 7 seconds that he beat everybody else. But anyway, it is what it is. So I didn't actually get to ride anything this weekend. They did things a little bit differently this year, and you can't just walk up and sign up to get on a bike. You got to schedule a time, and by the time we got there each morning, it was already full up. So didn't get to ride anything new this year. Did get to sit on a couple of different things, so that's cool. The new Ducati Scrambler was much anticipated. They've also got Ducati's got a new 4-cylinder bike out that's pushing 214 horses, which is pretty impressive. Pretty quick. Anyway, I'm going to start the long ride home. And sorry I didn't get more out there this weekend. But, you know, it is what it is. So, until next year, MotoGP.